welcome to this very special presentation on headlines today of the IPL, Lights, Camera and Cricket. And with me two very special guests at a very special place in Kolkata, the Heritage School. Many children who are actually the kernel of the IPL. Thanks to you, Madam Sapru, for providing us this facility. My own city, hosting the IPL opener, the inauguration, the ceremony. We are the defending champions as well. Who better to talk about it than my dear friend, Headlines Today expert, former India captain, the very best in the world, and now IPL Governing Council member Sourav Ganguly. Can you have an applause for him? Sure. Yes, Sourav, a very special performer who got an Oscar nomination this time along with Sonu Nigam for the first time from India in the mainstream category, Vikram Ghosh.
Thank you.
If I can start with my colleague Manogya Lohiwal and take a question first. Manogya, question for any of my performers.
Well, we start with the questions, especially from Kolkata, and some bright questions from some bright students this time with the KKRs fighting it out with Mumbai Indians. What is your question to the panel of guests?
So, as the captain of KKR, you managed a side which boasted the likes of Ricky Ponting and Brendan Markram. So how difficult was it to lead a side which has international captains among it?
No, I don't think it's a problem at all, because such players are such great players and they're very mature people, so they adjust to the positions very quickly. I wish they had stayed for a longer period, because the first season they played just 5 games and went home because they had to represent their respective countries in various tournaments. I wish they stayed throughout the entire tournament, because we started well, and then when all those 4 players left, our game dropped. It's never a problem. Even when I played for India, I was captain and I had the likes of Tendulkar, who were former captains, Dravid and Kumble under me, even Azharuddin under me. And then when I lost my captaincy, then Dhoni took over or Kumble took over. We played under them. So I don't think it's a problem in teams, because when you have such quality players, they're matured enough to handle the situation.
Well, my next question.
Another question, and then
What is your question?
After all that you've achieved, do you think a World Cup winning captain sounds more illustrious than a more successful Indian captain?
I think a World Cup is a big feat to achieve. Well, I'll have to live with that a World Cup runners-up captain, but that's fine. I think when you judge a captain, you judge on the entire tests and one days which any captain has captained the side. When I was playing or captaining India, there was no T20 cricket, so we only captain test cricket and one day cricket. World Cup is just one tournament, but captaincy depends. When you judge a captain, you do on the entirety of how he does well in test matches in India, at home, in one day cricket, and then the World Cup. So I don't think it's fair to judge anyone on one World Cup. But yes, it is a very important tournament.
Vikram, when we talk about the IPL, obviously the first thing that comes to mind, it's a mesh. It's a mesh of cricket and entertainment. As a citizen of this city, as one of our ambassadors to the world, if you want to welcome the world, this broadcast is going to places like the UK and Australia. How do you do that? IPL welcome from Vikram Ghosh as a Kolkatan supporter of Kolkata Knight Riders.
Well, you see, I think even bigger than all of this is the fact that we are human beings, and being a human being, you have a heart and you have a pulse. And that's where everything begins, the heartbeat, the pulse beat. So I think any form of welcome, the best way to do it is through rhythm. So I'm going to do a bowl and some bowl catting to welcome everybody watching this show. So here goes.
That deserves a bigger round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Sort of coming to the IPL, and this is me, coming to the IPL, wear your governing council hat. It's not even 12 hours old. How do you bring credibility back? Has the tournament lost credibility? How do you bring credibility back?
Well, it's a tough question to answer in just 12 hours time, but I think there are a lot of responsible people in that committee who will actually make sure that the game's clean. But I think the most important responsibility is on the players because at the end of the day they get influence, and it's how strong you are to keep those things away. And I really would want to take examples of people who've lost their careers and who couldn't play for their country or their IPL teams again for one stupid mistake. And as players, as cricketers, we should look at the bigger picture. What all you get for playing for the country or playing for your franchise. And we talk about the money, we talk about the razzmatazz, but the biggest thing is a job satisfaction. Is that the thing which you want to do, the thing which you wanted to do all your life, you get an opportunity to do it. And if you do the wrong things, that's taken away from you. So I think that should be an enough thought or a scare to make sure you don't do it. You can put all the systems in place, you can have whoever you want, but I think at the end of the day, as Rahul said yesterday, it boils down to individuals. It's about how you look at it and what you are from inside matters.
I want to say something here. I've always felt like saying this to Sourav. Besides being such a fantastic player, a great captain, I really always admired your integrity. I think you're an individual with a lot of integrity, and that makes me proud, not just as an Indian, also as a Bengali.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So when you approach a tournament like the IPL, I mean, which has been tarnished in the past, you've got responsibility. You just said individuals and players will have more responsibility. Tell me something. We talk about the IPL as a mesh of entertainment and cricket, but ultimately, it's the serious cricket that matters.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's very, very seriously played. As you know, one of our friends was saying that it's sometimes hard to captain an IPL team than captain India. And I think it's about the intensity, because there's so much competition among the owners to win also, because they so get involved in it. Cricket ultimately takes over. There is entertainment, but that little bit, I think cricket runs IPL. And look at the quality of cricketers on display. The names we said, I found it hard to pick an 11 because there's so many quality cricketers in that entire competition, and that's why it makes it so successful. And I think cricket will always remain first, and that's the way everyone in the IPL, the organizers, the owners and the players look at it.
And when you say cricket runs first, I mean, some choices raise eyebrows. We often talk about it, debate these things. Say, for example, Yuvraj Singh going for 16 crores. What is the logic? I mean, how
I don't mind it though. I don't mind it. I'm very happy for Yuvraj Singh that he made 14 crores last year and 16 crores this year, and he keeps playing well and keeps making a few more, because, you know, as a sportsman, your life's very short. Correct. You know, you play 14, 15 years. Yes, you're very, very, very handsomely paid in Indian cricket, but that only lasts for 14, 15 years. And I think they understand Yuvraj's value. You don't compare IPL with other forms of the game, because it's a little bit related to supply and demand. You know, the lesser the supply, the more the demand, and the more you get paid. But I'm completely okay with Yuvraj Singh getting 16 crores as long as he doesn't spend and waste it on a few more Ferraris, because he's got enough of them. Correct, and he's also got a Lamborghini to boot. Having said that, Kolkata versus Mumbai for the opener. Set it up for me. Well, it's the first game of the tournament, so everybody will be a bit jittery, everybody will be trying to get their teams right. The best thing which has happened for Kolkata is the clearance of Sunil Narine, because he's such a big trump card for them, such a big match winner for them, and they'll go into this game a lot more confident with Sunil Narine in the squad. But we'll have to see how Sunil Narine bowls, because he's coming out of a recorrection of a suspect action. So we'll have to see how he turns up, but he's a huge addition. Mumbai Indians are a good side. See, in T20 cricket, as I said, you need one or two to play a big knock. There is Rohit Sharma, there is Corey Anderson, there is Kieran Pollard, who can actually blast teams away. So from that point of view, there is quality in that side, but from an outsider, when you look at the sides before the start of the game, you feel Kolkata is a lot more stronger and a lot more well balanced. Bikram, before I go into a break, as a Kolkata inauguration here tomorrow, the whole of this city will talk about this competition. Set it up for me at the Eden Gardens. You are right in fact. This is Eden Gardens. You've got a crowd. Your ilk will be there. Shah Rukh Khan and his whole entourage. Do it up. I think the best thing would be for Kolkata is if he's allowed to go with his music instruments into the ground. He'll set the entire stadium alive. So we've given you. This is Eden Gardens and right in front of you. Now do it. On that note, I'll take a quick break
on this special presentation on Headlines today and come back in 2 minutes with Sourav and Bikram and a few more questions from my audience, which has some great cricket fans of perhaps the future years. Time for a quick break. Lights, camera and cricket, that's what it is. IPL, perhaps the world's most watched cricket tournament. And yesterday, as IPL Governing Council Chairman Rajiv Shukla said, the broadcast is going to all parts of the world. India, that's why, is the nerve center of world cricket. Here, on Headlines today, we bring you the best coverage. We've done it right through the World Cup. We will do it right through the IPL. With Sourav Ganguly, with performers like Bikram Ghosh, and with people like you who form the kernel of our audience. Manogya, over to you for a couple of questions.
Well, first of all, I'd like to add that Kolkata is the sports capital of the country, and here is the audience that will prove that why it is the sports capital of the country with your next question, of course.
Sir, do you think that there's added pressure on players due to the price tag, like Yuvraj Singh going for 16 crores, and the match fixing is a big issue in nowadays because and how it impacts the players?
Yes, price tags do put pressure because the expectations are very high. When you get paid 16 crores, you know you'll have to perform. But I think these boys are used to that pressure because when you play for India, you do get paid a lot of money, though, probably close to that or even more. I think more than that when you play for India, because it's not just money which comes from the board, but the endorsements, your other appearances, probably a lot more than what you get in the IPL. So I think they're used to that. They're used to that. And athletes, you look at the footballers in world football, the European footballers, you know, some of the figures are unbelievable. But as athletes, you just find a way to put that behind and perform. And I think that's the biggest challenge of an athlete. It's a big challenge for everyone in life, you know. You face different challenges. For you, going through your exams, different subjects come in. The higher you go, the more amount of subjects, the more to study and more the pressure. So pressure's on everyone in life, and you just have to find a way to deal with it.
Sourav, I'll take another question from Manogya. Madam Sapru, the principal of this school. Thank you once again for hosting us. Your question, please.
Ma'am, your question.
We've seen you very, very aggressive on field, and we've seen you win many games, of course, because of your aggression as well. Of course, I don't deny that the talent and the skill was definitely there. So what would you say about these players in IPL? Does aggression help?
Oh yeah, it does help, but you have to have the talent to back with it. It's the talent first and then the second. It's not the other way around, because after that, if you don't have the ability, you'll get found out. I think aggression is good. You got to use it cleverly, and at the end of the day, first and foremost thing, probably the first and last thing, is the ability to win matches, which is important.
Sort of, if I can sort of take off from that, I mean, you know, IPL has redefined world cricket in many ways. 2020 cricket has. We keep talking about X factor players, Glenn Maxwell, and what they bring to the table. Who for you are these X factor players in this IPL?
Well, there are quite a few. As you said, Glenn Maxwell's one, AB de Villiers is one, Chris Gayle is one, Virat Kohli, Yuvraj Singh, Dhoni, MS Dhoni, Suresh Raina, Malinga, Sunil Narine. Sunil Narine is the most valuable player in the IPL because when you have a bowler who could bowl 4 overs day in, day out and give just 10, 11, 12, 13 runs in his 4-over spell, I think he's the biggest match winner in the IPL.
So when people say that, you know, IPL is frivolous, IPL is this, it's a casino, it also is serious cricket and it's
no, it's
a lot
not
of
a
talent,
casino.
right?
I think people get it wrong. It's not a casino. It's not frivolous. There are wrongdoings everywhere in life. You know, you go to the best, there will be one person who actually creates a problem. It's a system of life, and it doesn't make the entire system bad. I think IPL has helped cricketers. It's more about cricket than anything else in the IPL. The intensity of the owners, the players, the captains, the coaches is unreal. You actually need to be in an IPL team to realize what it is. But as I said, and one must understand that if there are 1 or 2 bad people, it doesn't make the entire system bad.
One question that has sort of rankled everybody. I mean, talent just doesn't make a good team. When you have international stars who suddenly come from national duty, international duty, and come together as a composite bunch of individuals, what is the role of a captain? Say, for example, JP Dumini, never captained South Africa, suddenly is made to captain a Delhi Devils, which has never done very well in the IPL. What does he do?
You know, there's no hard and fast rule to success. Shane Warne never captained Australia, but the first season of IPL he captained Rajasthan Royals and won it. It's how you look at it. Sometimes you don't get to captain a team because probably you fall in a period where the team's successful and there's somebody captaining, and even if you're a good captain, you keep on playing as a player. You know, there was a period in Australian cricket during the time when I played, say probably from 1995 to 2008, 7-8. Nobody could get picked for Australia because the likes of Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh, Ponting and the other players in the middle order were so good. You know, you look at us, when we played in that generation, Tendulkar, Dravid, Ganguly, Lakshman, all of us played more than 100 test matches. To play 100 test matches, you have to play 15 years. So nobody got into that middle order for 15 years, even if there were some good players. So it was the same thing with Australia, and sometimes with captains also. Because of having good captains in the team, even if you're a good captain, you don't get an opportunity to captain the side because you can just have one captain. So those players, when they come to IPL and get an opportunity to lead, they excel. So I'm sure JP Dumini will do that. He has a big responsibility to take Delhi Daredevils forward because that's the reason he's been made captain, because the team hasn't done well.
Let me follow up with one more and then go to Bikram for another round of, mind-blowing stuff. Take a Rohit Sharma. Always we kept saying he's an underachiever despite the great talent. IPL has transformed him with captaincy responsibility.
Yeah, he was terrific the year which Mumbai Indians won. I think he's become a better player. In the initial part of his days, he didn't achieve according to his talent because just talent doesn't make you a performer. You have to think right. You know, that's very important, the mental part of the game. And I think with time he's got better. He's got responsibility. You know, in the past he played in teams which had the likes of Tendulkar, Dravid, Kumble, and he was second to them. So he was actually hidden under their shadows. But when these boys went, so he became the main guy. And he knew that he had to stand up, which he did actually. Yes, I still feel he can do a lot better than what he does. He should take an example from Virat Kohli, how he's taken his game to a different level. But I think Rohit Sharma is exceptionally gifted and a very, very good player.
But is the problem of Mumbai the problem of plenty? I mean, I know Bangalore is compared to South Africa in terms of choking, but Mumbai, Ricky Ponting, Sachin Tendulkar, Anil Kumble, Shane Bond, I can sort of name it.
I don't think Tendulkar is a part of Mumbai anymore.
He's still there with the team.
Yeah, but I don't think he's actively involved in the coaching of the team and running of the team. I think it's Ponting, Bond, and Anil Kumble, I believe, has got a different role this year. He's not actually directly involved in the team. He looks over the sports as a whole. So I think it boils down to Ricky Ponting and Shane Bond. And I think Ponting is a good choice. Ponting is a very, very good choice because the year Mumbai Indians won the IPL, Ponting was one of their players. He didn't get to play the IPL very much because, you could only pick 4 players. But I think he was involved in the team and did a lot of good work behind and inside the dressing rooms. And I think that's the reason he's got an opportunity back to play for Mumbai Indians. But it's not just about the coach, it's about the players as well.
In a show that involves Sourav Ganguly, in a contest that is cricket, ultimately the last word has to go to him. Pick a winner. Why you are picking that winner, don't tell me 3 teams, pick one. And pick your favourite 3 players of this IPL who you want to see perform.
Well, it's really tough to pick a winner in such a tournament. It's hard work. But I think Kings 11 Punjab has the firepower. Whether they're going to win it or not, I'm not sure. Because it's really, really hard to predict. And 3 of my best players, the players who will actually make a huge, huge impact in the IPL and who I'm looking forward to actually sit and watch. One is Sunil Narine, one is Glenn Maxwell, and Virat Kohli. I really want to see Virat Kohli play well because he's such a fine player.
Excellent. So Sunil Narine bowling to Glenn Maxwell in an IPL contest at Eden Gardens for a final. How will that be? Let's keep dreaming. We will keep bringing you such special programs on Headlines today. Thank you, Heritage School, for allowing us to host it. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. And please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Bikram Ghosh and Sourav Ganguly.